right, we're back. We're so back. Bad Moments Opinions is back after the not so short break from the theory video. All
Which
right.
is just battling people into the slight twists.
Yeah. So first, before anyone says anything about anything, Davy back fights are so back. I'm so happy. I am so happy. This is the best day ever. Oh my god, this was great. I love this.
It is. We did rave about how cool that would be in one of the tier lists.
Yes.
This day sucks because my friends abandoned me while I was talking to my mommy.
Well, you're free to join us. You're free to join us if you want to talk about the latest One Piece chapter.
Oh wait, you haven't read One Piece since fucking Egghead. Get out of here.
Mocha, can I spoil you about the thing that made me happy? Can I spoil you about the thing that made me happy?
Mocha doesn't care about spoilers. He reads chapter.
Davy back fights are back.
Yeah, they're canon again.
I'm so happy for you, Bob.
Yeah,
I'll look at One Piece in the head.
Yeah, I figured. Anyway, that was fun.
All right, yeah.
So yeah, Davy back fights are back. I really like that. It's because it's sketchy, but I like that when Rocks is doing it. Mocha, can you actually fuck off?
Sorry, I probably peeked the mic. I said I'll read one.
No, don't worry.
I'm pretty sure I picked you up.
No, I was gonna say I really like how Rocks, when doing the Davy back fight, he gained a Foxy like build. He got so round.
I know he didn't look like that later in the chapter.
No.
And it's also like just kind of because like before he even like had a flag to wager, like he already had like a full crew, meaning that it was kind of like an afterthought for him.
It's awesome.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool things that happened this chapter. So this is but you know what like made me really 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 mad in this very same day?
Was it the thing I showed you?
No. It's the fact that someone in the comments of one of my YouTube videos spoiled me that Davy back fights are coming back, and I hate you. I forget what your username was or whatever, but like I will try to block you next time I remember to do that. I hate you now. You're the worst viewer I've ever had. You're the worst one.
We had that on Evil.
Spit on you.
We had that on Evil Puff last week. A few people were commenting that Rocks was back. Before the chapter dropped, so that's fun. Puff, I guess we just need to
whatever, like that. Like I knew there would play roles somehow because we were in the flashback and Loki likes Rocks. So like whatever, who cares? Who gives a fuck? But you would spoil me on that. You're not impressive. You're not impressive for pointing out that you knew what's gonna happen ahead of time. You're not impressive.
They probably thought you also read spoilers like every filthy One Piece YouTuber. But that's a normal assumption because every filthy One Piece YouTuber does.
It's a filthy assumption. It's a disgusting.
I think it's a fair assumption.
It's a personal attack on my character. If you think I
don't read your comments on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I read One Piece as God intended, translated by TCB every Friday.
Yeah, you read it on Thursdays, not Friday.
Right? Yeah, it depends.
So anyway, yeah, that's fine.
All right. So anyway, first things first. This is like technically isn't something we got on. It's just a bit of an update. Gunko was confirmed to not be a saint.
Ooh, we talked about that in the theories, but not here.
Saint to be a saint
is the specific word, and it wasn't even like an SBS reveal. It was straight up the volume release made a correction, which does happen.
Yeah,
that's normal.
It happens sometimes. Yeah, but anyway,
or if you're O'Hara, it's breaking your trust.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, but dude, that means we can't trust Oda. How can I trust him to write the story if he can just retcon anything whenever he wants? Like, it's such a terrifying idea. What if one chapter he has Zoro beat Mihawk, then a month later he decides actually in the volume release Mihawk won instead? Then it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Can I even read weekly anymore if he's gonna change stuff like that?
It was also super weird because O'Hara spent the whole video being like, "Here's a bunch of other retcons that were kind of crazier." But then he just ends it all. But he also says he doesn't think Gear 5 is a retcon, but he thinks Hockey is, which is crazy because I think Hockey is a lot more clearly planned than Gear 5 was.
Yeah, anyway,
in the sense that like Oda had a semblance of an idea with Hockey. He did not have a semblance of an idea with Gear 5.
No, I don't think.
Until maybe like Wano. Whereas with this, literally, like he's like, it ruins our trust with Oda. And it's like, guys, Oda literally forgot to give a character their epithet in a text box. That is not a weird thing to forget.
Yeah,
that's a perfectly reasonable thing to forget.
Yeah, and like sometimes I remember this. This was a similar example. This wasn't the Katakuri one we brought for. It was Flampe, where like they said Flampe I think was like the 33rd daughter instead of the 37th daughter, so that people were like,
Yeah.
oh shit, is Pudding like 14 years old?
Oh yeah, and it turns out no, Flampe is quite young.
Yeah, I know that. Like he
Well,
had to change that in the volume release because it
yeah,
just slipped by him. But like it
yeah, it's
happens
like,
sometimes. It's never happened for anything that was like really important, guys. The most important thing that a volume change ever did was just change Katakuri from a Logia to a special Paramecic, so that introduced a new type of devil fruit.
which is an entirely superficial change that at this point only exists to make him a closer Luffy parallel.
Yeah, and again, like it introduced a new like category devil fruit, so like that's kind of a big deal ish if you really care about like the
Well, it might
the
matter
wiki.
later. It
Yeah,
doesn't now.
yeah,
Um,
but again, like overall, it's not like really important for understanding the story or Katakuri's character or the
no.
events of that chapter.
No, and like if anything, I think that's just kind of like a funny side effect of reading weekly is everyone because like yeah, I had theories about why Shamrock wasn't a saint, and I had theories about why Gunko wasn't a saint. But also, I don't know if I ever said it in here, but I was making jokes with Puff the second the chapter dropped that how funny would it be if this was an accident?
Oh yeah, no, we brought that up in several videos. Like, what if it could
Okay,
just be an
good.
accident, or it could just be
Because I'm not especially because Oda was making mistakes in Elbaf. We already knew that. Um, it's like yeah, it's like oh no, we theorized and then we learned our theories were dead. Boo hoo.
yeah,
It's kind of like one common opinion that people one cool take I see is basically like guys, the most streamlined way to read One Piece for the rest of time is going to be the volume translations, not the weekly hellhole.
yeah, not reading spoilers, not reading
No,
13.
reading spoilers is never going to happen again unless you're literally doing like a fandom deep dive.
Yeah.
Like how I would look up Naruto spoilers to see what the fuck people were saying back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like who cares?
Another thing about that O'Hara video is that like I kind of want to bring back my tiers of retcon, because like a lot of what he brings up is retcons in the same vein as like Gunko was like, all right, Gunko was like, I what happened with Gunko wasn't even like a real hard
Retcon, it was a reveal.
Yeah, if anything, it was just like a reveal because it's not like it changed anything. It just told us more. Like,
Like we had to Puff. What's like? It's not even a reveal though, because it's just like a. Oh yeah, oops.
Yeah, again, like it was just if Gunko like was introduced and the text pod said like not a celestial dragon or like not a saint, and then like the volume said it was a saint, then like all right, then that's a retcon then. But here it's just like they just tacked on the name. It's additional information, and just adding additional information to something isn't a retcon. Like,
yeah, no, it's completely normal.
like Sanji's backstory isn't a retcon because it was always like a blank slate. You could have done anything with him.
Horace said that was a retcon.
Yeah.
Why? Like Oda does something that a lot of pretty clever weekly artists do, which is they give themselves like open-ended foreshadowing. Where he said Sanji is from
mysteries, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a better word. Sanji is from not the East Blue, which is like, okay, that could be ignored or explored in pretty much any way. Or like, oh, Skypeans have a way to fucking sense where people are. You could either have that be a Skypean thing, or you could very easily reincorporate it as something that the main cast can do, which he did.
Yeah.
It's just like, stuff like that's pretty easy.
Yeah. Alright, so next is, dude, isn't it crazy that this last chapter gave us power scalers so much to work with?
Oh my god. So here's the thing. I don't care about agenda piece memes most of the time. I care a little bit when it comes to an aspect of that.
I care for Zoro and Sanji specifically. I think that one is really fun.
Well, no, that one's intentional. Zoro literally...
Yeah.
Oda literally stokes the flames of that, like, once a volume.
Yeah.
The one that's terrible is, we've complained about this before, which is Mihawk Shanks fans. This chapter, I have seen Mihawk and Shanks fans both say, we stay winning, and it's because, shocker, the reveal is Rocks was a very powerful swordsman to Mihawk, and then Mihawk fans are like, oh, we're that guy! But then the second half is, he used it more like a club or a cannon, and then Shanks fans go, oh, we're that guy, because swordsman is, ooh, look haha, strong swordsman, Shanks can suck my dick. And then the canon part is like, oh, that's kind of like when Mihawk said Zoro's not a real swordsman because if you don't know what you're doing, it may as well be a metal rod.
It's just like, dude,
Conclusion? Which side do I think is more right? Neither! I don't give a shit! The Rocks hitting like a cannon has nothing to do with fucking Mihawk!
It doesn't. Like, again, it's the same old thing. I'm gonna say it 1,000 times, like, more probably. Nothing about the Mihawk versus Shanks debate has changed in 10 years. Nothing.
No, fans think it has, but it hasn't, because every single time anything happens, both Shanks and Mihawk fans claim they're winning.
Anytime swordsmanship is brought up in any capacity, it'll happen.
Claim they're winning. Happen. Because it's a non-conversation, and I hate it. But then, just
and
funny
then,
power.
Like, why does this matter at all? It's not like Rocks was like alive during the same, or like a big deal during the same time Mihawk was. Like, it's not implied that Mihawk beat Rocks, right?
No. But that means Rocks wasn't the world's greatest swordsman, and Mihawk beat whoever the guy better than Rocks was.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. We don't even know that. I'm kidding. We do not know that. Here's another funny one, which is Admiral discourse. A bunch of people who hate Admirals like, yo, Admirals suck and/or Rocks is the GOAT. And Puff, I like it because everyone is acting like Rocks and an Admiral had an honorable 1v1 in a Coliseum.
No, dude, they said like 1v1, no items, final destination, just you and me. It was completely fair.
What's funny is the only fight in One Piece that meets those qualifications is Sakazuki versus Kuzan.
This is the joke I keep making. It's like, dude, feat-wise, we've confirmed that Rocks is as strong as Akainu at least.
Except not, because what I bring up is, okay, he infiltrated here sneakily, is taking hostages. Am I supposed to believe this was an honorable attack on this admiral? I don't.
Like,
not to say he's weak, but just to say, if he's proto-Blackbeard, I'm not expecting him to fight honorably.
Yeah, it could have been a straightforward fight, but it could have just as easily been, hey, Admiral, I have a hostage. Don't use your devil fruit or else I'll kill them. And he's like, oh, fuck.
Or just as basic as, like, the first attack, he lands from behind or something. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Basically,
or he brought one of the many crewmates that he got through his Davy back fights and,
I thought the implication was he didn't have them at that point.
Oh, maybe that's true. Yeah.
And also, I'm just going to keep catering to my theory. You know what fruit would really help you sneak in Marijois? The slow fruit.
It would. It'd be super useful.
I want Rocks to have the slow fruit. Dude, fuck it, Puff, sure. Let's give him 3 fodder villain fruits. Let's give him Bucky's fruit, Boxy's fruit, and Wapple's fruit.
Dude, that is a combination. I don't think the story. I think that's too cool for this story. One Piece.
I think it's also too strong. Like, dude, think about all the weapons he could turn into, and then separate, and then he slows you down so he can't dodge the weapons. And then, dude, what if he eats a bunch of glass and he makes like a mirror cage, and he fucking like ricochets his slow photons everywhere?
Like Foxy's fruit alone is already too much when you give it to someone who's actually really strong.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Also, we watched an Anime Balls Deep video. They read the chapter before this and read the spoilers for this chapter. And then they tried to guess Rocks' lineage. Shocker, a woman in his life was a rape slave. Who could have thought? Wow, I can't believe it. A One Piece theory with a woman who's the victim of slavery and sexual assault. Who'd have thought? But then they also said a few things, like, they said Rocks is Buggy's dad, which seems fair. There's a couple Rocks. There's a couple. Oh yeah, that I'll get to that, because there's a couple Rocks Buggy parallels. I don't know if they're going to be related, but they're definitely going to have some type of thing going on there.
I hope so.
And then, yeah, they said Rocks is Robin Hood because he steals from the rich, but he doesn't give to the poor, which is the thing that makes Robin Hood cool.
No. They said that he used it to fund his pirate escapades, and presumably a lot of the pirates that he got on his crew through Davy fights were poor. So
they're infamous. I don't think they're like down on their luck. No. Oh, I did make the joke that Zoro might get a Whitebeard parallel in the sense that I think it'd be really funny if Rocks found Whitebeard doing a Zoro thing in the New World where he just needed money, so he was kind of just wandering around finding random bounties. That just sounds like something Newgate would do when he needed more money.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Oh, dude, we got 2 Shiki chapters in a row, and he's got that shit on.
I know, and dude, you know who else was in this chapter?
Oh no.
Ochoku?
/ Wang Ji. Hey guys. Guys. I've seen so many Twitter posts saying that Oda made a mistake. What's the other guy? King? Who the fuck's the other guy? Ganjui. Gangzui. Gangzu? How do you say it? Whatever. The smuggler. Ochako / Wang Ji. People incorrectly said he was the big gold giant at Thriller Bark because his name sounds kind of Chinese and the armor, or not the armor, the beard looked kind of Chinese. That's the reason they did that. Reveal, not even reveal, but guess what? The second that theory dropped, it was wrong because, as we all know, Wang Ji / Ochoku, because that's the same person, was in charge of Beehive during the time skip. Everyone.
Yes. So
how could you be
alive
a zombie?
During
How could you be a zombie? Yes. So we've already talked about this before. I'm bringing it up because I've seen several people say Oda made an error. It's like, no, he didn't. You were always wrong. You were always wrong.
To be fair, guys, like Oda's made a couple mistakes, like, you know, like again, like maybe the same thing or like early Elbaf, whatever. But like, you understand that this theory was like fraud and debunkable the second you dropped it like 3 years ago, like or like however long ago it was, like whatever like the 5th bad One Piece opinions we did was, like we talked about there and said like, yeah, this is literally impossible, and it is literally impossible. And like, look, the guy who's not wearing the golden armor was called the future Commodore of Pirate Island. Read the text box.
Yes.
It's right there.
Wow.
These people don't even read. What are they doing?
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing.
Like,
also,
they can read spoilers, but you can't read the actual chapter.
Yeah. Also, I like the idea. Also, yes, I like the idea that Ochoku is Karabu and Korabu's dad, because it'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Especially if they don't know and they don't find out till Blackbeard tells them. That would be hysterical. He's like,
your father and mine used to work back in the day. I'll gladly welcome you to my crew.
I hope there's no bad blood because of what I did to your dad. And Karabu's like, what the fuck is he talking about? That'd be, and then he sees a picture of him, and Karabu's like, this is the second time in my pirate career someone has shown me a photo of a guy that looks a lot like me. If you don't know what that is, read the Karabu cover story.
Really cool.
That's fun.
All right.
Otherwise, just a fun few chapters. Yeah. I like that. Although, funny thing about Anime Ball Steep saying that Rocks is a good guy, we've seen him attack a child twice now.
Yeah.
What's funny is they said he fought Loki honorably, teaching him a valuable lesson. It's like, what lesson? He's mutilated a child twice. Not mutilated. He's fucking brutalized a child twice. What's the lesson here? I'm confused. What did he teach him?
The lesson is don't mess with pirates, man. That's the lesson. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with Rock specifically, or else he'll beat the shit out of you.
That's not a lesson. So yeah. I don't know why people want Rocks to be a good guy so bad. Guys, just because he hates the government doesn't mean he's a good person. Everyone hates the government. It's really easy.
Yeah,
Big Mom and I don't like it either. It's really easy. Everyone
I think people just want moral ambiguity. I want moral ambiguity, and it's just...
But it's not even that. They want, like, an anti-hero.
I guess, but, like, why
and he's not.
Rocks? Like, why pick
what
Rocks?
Is wrong with you? What's funny is Roger himself is not a good person. Like, everyone's like, oh, dude, it was revealed Roger had a torturer on his crew. It's like, yeah. Also, it's stated that when someone insulted his friend, he destroyed their whole country. And also Squard's backstory.
Yeah, Roger.
We've always known Roger's been kind of a suspicious fellow for a while. So, just go with Roger. I mean, that's kind of thing in general. Like, the closest One Piece characters to moral ambiguity are flashback characters, because they do pretty shitty things in general, while still being like lovable and relatable and like very important moral compasses for the main characters.
Dude, Rocks is a flashback character. He could be one of those. He's a flashback.
Yeah, but he's Loki. Yeah, but like, what's the good thing Rocks has done so far?
He gave Loki hope not to kill himself again. There you go.
By almost killing him twice.
Yeah,
Also, he didn't do it on purpose and on
he
accident.
He beat the suicidal thoughts out of him. That's why he had to hit him so hard.
No, the thoughts left when Loki listened to him talk. Also, small thing that I like, whenever we saw one like group shot of Rocks next to all his crew, and he is in fact a shorty.
Yeah, I like that. It's cute.
You can't tell because it's so. Oh, I got again another thing. Rocks has the Ape no Mi. This started because of spoilers, where they just saw him doing the 2-finger thing, but then you read the chapter, and the close up of his face, like we see his face for the first time, is him saying, "You better answer my 2 questions," and he's holding up 2 fingers. And it's like it could be a double meaning. I'm not going to say that's impossible, but also Occam's razor.
You know what's one thing that I think is kind of neat about Rocks being short?
What?
So like obviously like early on like characters like Shanks and Dragon and like Luffy and Zoro Sanji were all like short because that's just how like Oda drew characters back in East Blue. Everyone was like normal human size.
Except for Garp. Garp's
But
pretty
then like
big.
sorry, did I say Garp? I meant Dragon and Shanks.
No, I said except for Garp, because Garp was also debuted in the East Blue and was pretty tall.
I guess so, but like it's just like
He's like the one exception.
But like as we get further to Grand Line, characters get bigger and taller and taller. But like characters like Mihawk, Shanks, and Dragon, despite being some of the strongest people in the world, are still short. I like to think that might imply that they all have like humble origins, kind of like Luffy and the gang in East Blue. Maybe possibly.
That'd be funny.
I would like if like that was consistent. And maybe Rocks is part of that too. That could be fun.
Can I bring up my favorite new term we learned?
Oh, what's the favorite new term? Is it the
Davy Jonesian pirate?
Oh my god, I love, dude, the Foxy parallels are so real. The Foxy parallels are so real.
Okay, because like the joke Puff and I made is okay. Davy Jones is brought up in Davy back fights, but like, why would Rocks tell Eam that he's a Davy back fight expert? So it's like no, and it's like okay, is it a race? And then Puff and I made the joke that Peace Mains and Buccaneers are back.
Peace Mains, I'm a Buccaneer. Oh god, a Buccaneer pirate in my garden, sitting on my magnolias.
No, he's changed it now. Buccaneers are the good name, and the bad name are Davy Jonesian. I don't know what the hell Davy Jonesian means. It's really funny.
I think my favorite idea is probably that like that's what D stands for, and like because like Emu said like he doesn't care about
that'd be so funny.
Like he says he doesn't care about the D because they forgot about their name. Like maybe like him telling Emu this is like him saying like, hey, I'm a bigger deal than all the other Ds who forgot, and maybe that's why Emu like took notice of him and why that word would mean something to him.
I don't think it's his race because he doesn't say like I'm a Davy Jonesian. He says that's the type of pirate he is, which implies something a little more complicated. It's interesting. I like it. Also, I don't care how bad a translation it is. Davy Jonesian's fucking hilarious.
It's pretty great.
It's such a funny name. So yeah, Flashback's been fun. I've been having a good time.
Yeah. But dude, did you know that people are discrediting Big Mom way too much by pushing Shiki as Rocks' wings?
You shouldn't be pushing anyone as Rocks' wings, is my opinion. It's fucking stupid.
I think it's people's, like, again, it's kind of like the people trying to make Rocks a good guy. They try to parallel him with Luffy more than they should, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, that fucking video we watched where it's like, dude, Rocks and Luffy are more similar than you think. They both declared war on the government.
And?
They declared war on the government.
And they're both pirates? Yeah, and?
Yeah, did you think about that? Is that interesting?
Is that it? They're just both, like, reckless...
He named another thing, but it was as superfluous as that. Basically, just, guys, Rocks is... Also, why do you want Rocks to be a Luffy parallel? He's gonna be a parallel to Blackbeard, you fucking dorks. And now he's a Foxy parallel, too, my go.
Hell yeah, hell yeah!
You know, so, I don't know what that's about. Here's the thing though, if Shiki is the left hand, I'm okay with that for non-biased reasons.
Yeah, obviously, he was stated to be as strong as Whitebeard and Roger, so he must be equal to Whitebeard. Obviously,
also, we've gotten more people just lying. Like someone's like, Garp to Roger was Sengoku to Shiki. It's like there's no evidence of that.
There's evidence in my heart because they gave him.
My headcanon is that Sengoku was what was Whitebeard's Garp if he had one, because their little conversation, but not really at the start of Marineford. And also, I like the idea of countering the earthquakes with Buddha shockwaves. I think that's charming.
I think literally the line where it's like, oh, that's Sengoku's up to his old tricks again, or like Sengoku, that sneaky bastard, or whatever Whitebeard
Like,
said.
oh, they have a dynamic.
Yeah.
Who is Shiki's Marine? Who gives a shit?
Bogart.
Here's my fire Shiki theory. The correct one, Puff. Fire correct Shiki theory. He killed the old warden of Impel Down when he escaped on his way out. That's my theory.
Alright.
Because we know there was an old warden back then. Like, we know it was different than Magellan and Hannibal. And that's just the easiest answer to where he went.
Alright.
That's just the easiest answer.
Alright, we have one more Elbaf one before we go back to normal stuff.
Alright.
So, dude, did you know that Elbaf was not planned? Like, the arc itself was never not planned to happen.
Dude, that was one of the worst video. Grand Line Review, you're supposed to make one of the okay ones. Why was that video so fucking bad?
Yeah, okay, so here's what happened, dude. So his evidence for Elbaf not being planned is Oda made like a couple like mistakes early on in the arc. So like maybe he was like, he didn't look at his notes hard enough or something because he scribbled the notes too fast or whatever. And then B was a Japanese guy heard a rumor that it wasn't planned to happen.
A guy that sometimes works with the anime heard a rumor, and when he said it was a rumor, he repeatedly said like 3 times in his statement that it's a rumor that we're not going to Elbaf. And also, Oda said he thought up a version of the story where we don't go, but he thought it was impossible.
Yeah.
What?
Well, obviously, like, what Osa just implies, like, I've set so much around Elbaf, it's hard to imagine me not taking my story there. But if I get axed, I might have to skip it or something.
Or just him, like, thinking about it. Like, he's like, could I skip Elbaf? And then he thinks about it, and he's like, nah.
Like, again, like...
There's no proof that, like, he hardlined on that for a while, and then his last funniest proof is, Oda said the story would only be 5 more years.
Yeah, he's also said that 5 years ago, and then 5 years before that, and 5 years before that, and 3 years before that.
Because Oda is bad at guessing. He doesn't know how long he's gonna be doing this shit. He has no idea.
Guessing, because I think some people theorize that like they intentionally say that just so people keep hopping on the bandwagon.
I'm gonna keep saying he's bad at
guessing. The end is coming, boys. Hop on.
I think it's funnier to think he's just that bad at guessing.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, 20 plus years in, he's still, I got like what, 5?
5 more years. I could cram Elbaf in the final war and
still has no idea.
The Moon Arc all in the 5 years. Yeah, I could do that.
It still has no idea. Would just be hilarious.
Yeah, and like you can find like a lot of statements from a lot of different mangaka saying that it's hard for them to manage like chapter count and time and stuff like that. Like
one I will always think is funny is Toriyama before Dragon Ball wrote Dr. Slump, a very long, extremely successful comedy manga, and then he's like, all right, Dragon Ball time, and he's like, I think it's gonna get axed, and then when it didn't, he's like, all right, I think I'll probably get like a year in, finish the Hunt for the Dragon Balls arc, maybe, we'll see. Funny. This is stated by a man who had already written a long, successful manga.
Yeah.
And he still said that.
Or like another example, like when I think it was Kishimoto, like giving advice to Horikoshi, saying like, yeah, if you're planning an arc, whatever chapter count you think it's gonna be, double it. Just double it. Just double it. It's gonna double. Because there's gonna be stuff you want to include in between scenes you weren't thinking about. It's gonna double. It's gonna double.
It's so funny because it's so different to how like theorists view Oda, because theorists view Oda of like, dude, he always knew One Piece was gonna be 800 chapters long.
Yeah, like the way they talk about it is like Oda wrote all like 10 jillion chapters of One Piece and then is just releasing them week after week.
Where it's like, God, even like forget Oda thinking that as like a 17-year-old, which would be deranged. That'd be ego beyond belief. Experienced mangaka don't think like that.
They don't.
So it's silly.
Yeah. Alright, next, did you know that Sanji has an inferiority complex about Zoro?
No, he doesn't.
What do you mean? Of course he does. He has low self-worth as his defining character trait, and he keeps comparing himself to Zoro, therefore.
No, in fact, he said what he said in Elbaf, which was hilarious, is he said, I was worried Jinbei and Zoro were going to close the gap. As in, he thinks he's still stronger right now, but he thinks they're catching up.
Yeah.
No. Zoro will think not Zoro. Zoro thinks a lot of things too. Sanji will think a lot of things. He's not going to think he's shittier than Zoro, at least not 99% of the time. I mean this genuinely. It's more likely for Zoro to be worried Sanji's stronger than him.
Yeah,
I think Zoro's more likely to do that kind of hyper intense self measuring for no reason.
Partly because like if strength is like his main goal, whereas like Sanji just sort of cares about strength insofar that he's stronger than Zoro.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just like no, Sanji's self-worth isn't about how hard he can kick. It's about like literally like he thinks his life is worth less.
Yeah. Partly because like like people died or like did bad like had to sacrifice something for him to live, so that kind of should be like, damn, I have to like really make sure I don't fuck up. And of course because anime fans are stupid, they think, oh yeah, but low self-worth, so like bad at fighting, right? That makes me think of like the Ohara video where he said Usopp should die before the big final battle because he'd be a liability. That was a terrible video. That does sound terrible.
You watched it with me, and I got really mad at it.
You did get mad.
You're probably playing Fire Emblem.
Just clicking away. Okay, so dude, did you know that Sanji has an evil mode?
To those who are paying attention to the story, you notice that Sanji actually gets a pretty evil face.
No. When his eyebrows switch direction, he becomes evil.
No, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, no, I know. Ohara said his face gets more evil.
Yeah.
No. Sanji talking shit when he fights has been
a thing since he's blue.
Do people remember how we were introduced to Sanji? A guy insulted his food, and then we cut away, and then we cut back, and he's beaten to a bloody pulp, and Sanji's holding him in the air.
Yeah, Sanji's never been like nice when he's like seriously fighting people.
Maybe you guys forgot this because the last time you saw the East Blue was the live action One Piece, but Sanji's an asshole. He's not some nice squeaky clean idiot. He's a dick. He's and that's intentional. Sanji's design is funny because he wears this suit and tries to talk with like fancy French and be polite, but he smokes and he has blonde hair and he curses all the time and his hair's in his eyes. He's a punk.
And he's got this big weird swirly eyebrow thing.
Yeah, no, he's a punk. Well, no, the reason I brought those three up, blonde hair covering eyes, smoking, is because those are classic punk aesthetics. Yeah. Like he's a punk delinquent chef. That's the visual joke of Sanji.
Yeah, and like literally as we're being introduced to him, it's just like, oh, Barote, that's where all the fighting cooks go. Even pirates are scared of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just Sanji's always been kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So him being a dick when he fights is like, yeah, he's like that.
Yeah. All right. Next, we may have brought this up in the theory video, but I felt so validated when Ohara jumped ship from Bible Peace to Norse Peace, and it's just like,
we mentioned it a little bit. What's funny is he was so blatant too. He's like, oh yeah, the Adam and Eve apple. Well, guess what? There's actually the apple of Fafnir in Norse mythology.
Like,
it's like,
everyone believed that the Delphus were based off the tree from the Adam and Eve creation story, but it's actually based on it's like, oh, so you're just turning your back on everything you've said on this topic for the past like 2 years. For no reason other than to clout.
It's vindicating in the sense that, like, we always knew Ohara was just doing what he thought got him more views.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not shocking. And depending on how well the Norse video did will determine how much Norse piece he pushes in his next videos.
Yeah.
It's just entertaining to watch how kind of blatant it is.
You can always trust him to be a scorpion. It's so great.
Yeah, I always love the little things. Like the one that got Chast that we talked about is his rat art.
Oh yeah, no, the rat art
where he changed the art to look more like his theory. That's so fucking rat-like.
Like Ohara's like very like noteworthy for these videos just because it is very interesting how it's like he literally doesn't care about having integrity anymore, like not in the slightest. So he
which is so funny because he complains that we can't trust Oda anymore because Oda fixed a mistake, whereas Ohara will say unhinged wrong shit every video. Like the one that admittedly is very old at this point, I just still quote it because it's fun. Ohara thought Dragon threatened to kill Kuma because he can't read.
Or he read
Um,
spoilers, and the spoiler guys got it wrong.
no, because Ohara usually drops his videos after he's had enough time to read either the Japanese RAWs or the TCB.
Oh right, he actually knows some Japanese. I forgot about that.
And he lives in Japan and has Japanese friends. Wouldn't surprise me if one of his editors or writers can speak Japanese.
Yeah. All right, so enough about bad, stupid new shit. Let's talk about something that's kind of old.
All right.
All right, so do you remember the chapter where Law like cut Trebol?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Do you remember like how it ends with the Trebol revealing his scrawny old
That
man form?
I remember this was awesome.
Yeah. Do you remember during that week specifically, in between like that chapter and the next one, everyone believed that he was a Tonntatta.
Yeah, they thought he was actually tiny.
Yeah, they thought that Trebol was a Tonntatta. Like, oh, that's how he dodged all Luffy's punches, because he's a tiny little mouse man inside this big glop of goo. And also people like thought that his like cane kind of looked like the one that the old Tonntatta guy had. And it would kind of be like a bit interesting if there was like a traitor Tonntatta who was joined Doflamingo to escape slavery or whatever. Like that could have been like a fun idea for the character, but no, he just was that, and he was just always a normal sized dude. I just think that's really funny in retrospect. All right, next is oh dude, you know who's my favorite character in One Piece?
No,
Sakazuki. And you all know why he's my favorite character in One Piece?
because he's
Because
pure
Oda
evil.
loves a moral ambiguity, and he's gonna have Sakazuki get a redemption arc and rebel against the world government, and then he'll be like, was he truly always a bad guy? Will Luffy shake hands with him and realize him killing Ace wasn't all that bad?
So this is another thing we talked about a bit in the theory video. We've talked about it in old videos before too, but it kind of took off recently because of Rocks, which is people say a couple things about Sakazuki. They either say, one, he's already morally gray because, well, he was just following orders, even though there was no order to kill the people on Ohara. He chose to do that. Also, that would be a bad order to follow. Kuzan would not follow that order. Next is, well, someone needs to defend the world from pirates. Okay, but Sakazuki has infinitely more kills of innocent people than pirates. I also love when people are like, dude, him killing that Marine running away was base. You do that in the real military. It's like, dude, this is a fucking admiral. He should be on the front lines. He's killing a schmuck running away. You kidding me? He has better shit to do.
Also, like, again, like, why, like, Akainu to this point has been seen as just like an irredeemable bastard. So like, why would we give this guy a redemption arc? Like, like,
oh, no,
is Luffy gonna forgive this guy for what happened to Ace, and we're just gonna move past that? Like, no.
No, I've said this before. If Sakazuki has a quote unquote redemption arc, it'll be a Darth Vader arc in the sense of he just dies helping kill a bad guy.
That is actually a pretty good example, because Darth Vader literally did multiple genocides before being like, oh shit, my life was wrong. I should do something about this.
Yeah. He's just like the classic literary example. So here, even though it's not literature, so what I think is that, and people are bringing it up recently because like, oh, what if Rocks killed his dad? It's like, one, he looked impoverished as a kid, so what a shit dad. Two, who cares? Who cares?
I care. Dude, if he had a sad backstory, then that justifies all of his actions because of the sad backstory.
It's like, do you think Doflamingo was justified?
Well, no, because do
you think Big Mom was?
No,
Big Mom was literally.
She's not a Marine.
Big Mom was literally a child trafficking
She's a
victim.
pirate.
Mm-hmm. Opposed the Marines, who are so much better than Marines are so much better than pirates. From the civilians' perspective, fuck the civilians. They don't know shit. I know more because I am the reader with the power of knowing more than God in that story.
Alright, guys, I'm looking for a certain tier list right now because someone asked Zeus, and I feel like we could do this in like 5 seconds.
What
it was
it?
like, do a tier list for like the morality of the Marines and like who's like right and wrong and stuff. And yeah, I feel like we could do that in like 10 seconds because it's pretty straightforward.
No, I can find one. You keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
You keep pulling up the list. I'll find it.
All right. So next is Oh, this is something that like we may have talked before, but it is fun to see how Oda's kind of warped the whole like axis and perspective on like badass and goofy designs.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, like 10, 15 years ago, if you showed like a picture of Gear 5 to someone or Gear 4, they'd be like, well, that's not a badass anime warrior. I'm watching Bleach right now, and I really like Ichigo's new Bankai form. And you know, because One Piece got more popular in the West over time, now people are like, dude, Gear 4, that's fucking badass and shit. What? It's silly? No, it isn't. It's the coolest thing ever. It's not. It's not a goofy design. Sure, he's bounced around. He's a big giant balloon, but like you know, he's a badass. He's got an angry face on. You know. All right. Another old theory that's just fun to bring up. Do you remember when Who's Who was Jin
Yes.
because the shoes?
Yes, because the show. So it's Gin.
Right. Sorry, Gin.
Yeah. I don't know if people remember this, because One Piece theorists love hyping themselves up, because they always forget all the dumb shit they thought. During Wano, Who's Who's shoes kind of look like Gin's shoes, and people thought Who's Who was Gin.
You know, it's funny. Like I remember, like earlier, like a month or two before that, like when we saw Drake like rescue Law from the prison. It was just like, oh, dude, I predicted that Drake would be the one to rescue Law by analyzing his shoes. I'm so smart. And it's like, dog, everyone knew it was Drake. Literally everyone and their grandmother knew it was Drake.
No, I love when they hype themselves like, dude, we called it. Rocks is Blackbeard's dad. It's like, dude, there's like 3 Rocks theories. And you probably said all 3.
This is the most obvious one, honestly. Like Saber of Zebek, he took over Pirate Island. Like he's taking after Rock, so he had like some connection or admiration for the guy. All right, so next is this is actually like I think is actually kind of a worthwhile like concern or like complaint from Best Guy Ever.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's not like super important or anything, but it's just kind of fun and interesting. Is that why do CP0 wear masks?
Because it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like that's the reason. That's all the justification you need. But like the reason why he brought it up was because CP9 wore those same style masks in Water 7.
Except they weren't quite the same.
Well, anyway, they're not quite the same, yeah. But like they wore masks in Water 7 because there was a festival in Water 7 where everyone wore masks like that. So it was supposed to be like them doing like an appropriate thing for the specific island they were on. But you know, CP0 just seemed to do it because CP9 didn't, to add some consistency between like the two groups or whatever. I just think that's kind of a little interesting that like even though that may not necessarily have been like, you know, maybe that was the reason just to create that association and not because that was literally something CP9 originally was intended to do. I don't know, it's just kind of something to think about.
Alright, Puff, tell me what you think of these tier names, and if you want me to change or add in.
I was actually hoping to make an alignment chart.
Oh no, but okay, sure. But what do you think of these stupid tier names?
Cog in the genocide machine, apologetic worker, fix the system from within, good apple in a rotten grove, ignorance is bliss pure. Okay, that's great. That's it. Those are great names. But I was thinking of an alignment chart where it's like,
no, we can do an alignment chart. Sure, why not?
I thought it would be like good to bad and then like base to cringe.
No, we can't do that. It's not okay.
I want base to cringe just so I can put Akainu way on the left on the bad side. But
I'm not
also
doing
on the
that with you.
left for based and cringe.
No, we're doing this then because I'm not dealing with you.
Bad and based. Okay, so
no,
Tashigi is probably like
she was ignorance is bliss, but I think she knows better now, so I think she's here.
Yeah.
This is where most of Sword is going to go.
Yeah, probably. Like I feel like yeah, it's kind of just like they know that the Marines are bad and still work for them, but like they don't really see a better way to like do their shit other than to stick with the Marines.
I'm just gonna assume Kong goes there.
How could he not go there? Like he was literally fleet admiral. Like how do you get there and not be a cog in the machine? At least
the representation of this tier.
You could like make a case that like, you know, Fujitora is like, you know, as good as a Marine could be because he's trying his best. Like you can't deny that.
I know, but he is the definition of trying to fix the system from within.
Yeah, and I don't think the story's gonna push that too hard going forward.
I don't give a shit about Maynard. Alright, Roginate is funny because if he didn't burn down a lot of hospitals, I'd put him here.
Yeah, but he did burn down a bunch of hospitals, so I guess like he's kind of he might be worse than Tashigi, honestly, for that reason.
He is.
But like he doesn't.
You
He's
go
not
there.
a fixed apologetic war. Okay, sure.
I mean, burning down hospitals is a war crime.
It is a war crime.
You go there.
If he didn't
Diaz
burn
Barrels.
those hospitals.
Was Diaz Barrels a Marine? I thought he was
I
always a
don't think
pirate.
so. I thought it was like just Drake. I thought he was a pirate.
All right. We got good old Groose.
All right, good apple in a rotten grove because he's in sword.
Same with Drake.
Drake. Sengoku's an
Sengoku?
Sengoku was a cog, but now he's an apologetic war criminal.
He's an apologetic war criminal. Oh no.
Oh, dude.
Rainbow's pure evil.
Dude, look at the
No,
slavery
what's
and
funny is
unjust
pure good
hierarchies
is pro hierarchy, not because he thinks it's correct, but because he thinks we need. That's like a Jordan Peterson-esque thing to say.
It's like he thinks because hierarchies are inevitable, we should just accept the one that is here, even though it is the most corrupt and evil thing ever.
Yes, and then Belmare's pure good because she fought in one battle that we know of, hated it, and left the Marines to raise her kids.
Yeah.
Apologetic war criminal. That's what Kuzan is.
He's given up on fixing the system from within.
Kobe. You think Kobe is going to fix the system from within, or is he just a good apple?
I'm not sure. Well, like they could take his character either way.
I'm going to make him a good apple for now.
I think good apple, and like he'll either like leave the Marines or do something like weird rebellion thing, or more so than like Garp would do. Like, cause he's got to be a better Garp at the end of the day.
All right, what do we fucking? I feel like these two are ignorance is bliss. I don't think they know how bad the system they're in.
I think they don't know how bad the system is, but they're also like their sense of justice probably isn't as strong as the people like
obviously Django doesn't give a shit. He just wanted to not die, but
yeah. I guess it's like the people above them should know a bit better by now, but like it feels weird to put them above. I almost want to put like Cog in the machine, except they are also like ignorance is bliss at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not exactly like great. Like even when Full Body was just like a captain, he would just shoot random passers-by because who fucking cares?
No, you're right. You know what? I'll make him a cog, and I'll make Django ignorant because Django only joined because his friend was there.
Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's
Saul, guess what? Left the pure good. Hint means you left.
Like, wait, this is an evil organization, and then you leave. Sir,
do we have a better Sakazuki image than this here? Okay, we do.
Yeah.
All right. This guy is like a Sakazuki ass freak.
Yeah, he seems to have he seems to believe in absolute justice alongside Akainu. That seemed to be
like he was pumped to do the Buster Call. I don't think he's a cog. I think he's into it. And I'm not ranking the other ones.
Wait, but he did question the Saint.
This guy did?
No, the guy you just put down, the guy with the scar.
Oh, Doberman did?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, Doberman did.
Yeah, so I guess like he's like bordering on ignorance's list, or like maybe he's just starting to realize that the system might not be too bad.
I think he's like.
But he's also like a vice admiral who's obviously been with the Marines for a while. So, like, I imagine, like, he knows, but he doesn't fully know.
It's more like, he knows the genocide, he just doesn't know the flood the world part, so he still sucks.
Yeah. He doesn't know how bad it is, but he must know, like, more than, like...
So he's currently a cog, but he could leave.
Yeah. If they bring
I don't care about
back,
you.
like, who knows?
I'm gonna call Strawberry pure evil, because he did the Fisher Tiger thing.
Well, that could just be a cog, like, maybe he didn't know that Fisher Tiger was actually a great guy. He was just like, well, this is a guy that I gotta punch.
The thing that made Fisher Tiger famous was freeing a bunch of slaves.
Listen, I'm sorry, but my higher up said I have to punch you.
Nope, I'm leaving him. Nope. Momonga seems like a cog-ass cog.
Yeah. Doesn't really.
I think Momonga knows what's going on. I don't care about Shu.
Right, Garp is a good apple in a rotten grove, but like...
No, he's an apologetic war criminal.
You're right, because... He's at the top right now, like he can get away with a lot, and yet I think it might be like a fix the system from within. Maybe not fix the system. He doesn't want to try and change the system, but like he's like, I'm gonna do what I can in the system.
Well, he's fixed the system from within in the sense that he wants Kobe to fix it after he trains Kobe.
Like he's trying
I'm still putting him here.
He's trying to train Marines to be good, and I guess like that's his solution is like let's get as many good Marines as possible.
But that's like so stupid. I don't even want to count it. And also, it doesn't work because he also creates people like this and this.
That was an accident. He didn't mean to do that.
It happened twice. He only has 3 known trainees. And Dragon, actually. Oh, fuck, I wish Dragon was on this list. I could put him in pure
He
good.
did used to be a Marine.
Yeah, I would put Dragon in pure good. Okay. Boring. Do we have a modern Kizaru? We do. Right.
Yeah, we do.
Kizaru is the most cog-ass cog. He is the embodiment of being a cog.
Yeah, literally. Like, until, like, he had personal stakes involved, and even when he did have personal stakes involved, he still, like, did the dirty work.
Like, I don't think he's quite on the Garp level of apologetic yet.
No.
Because he,
someday,
like, I guess, like, he gave Luffy the food, but I don't think that's enough.
Like, at the very least, when, like, you know, like, Ace was being executed, Garp was like, alright, I feel so conflicted, I'm gonna cry about it, and I'm just gonna sit here, and then when Luffy comes to try and get past me, I'll let him by, because I can't do this. I can't stop someone from trying to save Ace. And not
which I guess is kind of comparable to Kizaru feeding Luffy, but Kizaru is like if Garp killed Ace.
Yeah.
Which, you know, he notably did not do. Good job,
like,
Garp.
I don't think Garp would have the heart to kill Ace himself.
No, he doesn't have it in him.
Like, he'll sit
right,
by and let it happen. Virgo was just a corrupt Marine, which is, you know, saying something. So even by Marine standards, he was a complete scumbag because he was, like, selling children and kidnapping them.
Yo, Puff, ignorance is bliss in the sense of people are ignorant about his scheme, so that's bliss for him.
But I think he is just evil, because he works for Doflamingo.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. He's pure evil. Zephyr that's interesting. He's like he's like a proactive, apologetic war criminal.
Yeah, I think it's like he's not pure good, because the solution he came to afterwards was also really bad.
Stupid.
But
yeah, so I still want to leave him here.
Yeah.
I'll put him next to Kuzan, because he's a lot like Kuzan. Fucking Bastille.
No.
I think that oh, Helmeppo.
Did
good
we
apple.
put Akainu on yet?
Fuck. I'm gonna grab him. Sakazuki. Guess what, fuckers?
There's literally nowhere else to put him. Like,
no!
He believes in sins of the father. He does genocide harder than what he's ordered to. Like, he will disobey orders to kill more innocent people because it'll align with his view of justice, which is the most corrupt form of justice intentionally.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you could probably put Kobe and fix the system from within for now, but, like, whatever, who cares? Good enough. Alright, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow. Shocking.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's pretty clear cut, honestly. You're either bad, you're either evil, complicit, or you're a good boy who doesn't know what else to do, or you left.
I would have, I didn't rank him. I would have put T-Bone in Ignorance is Bliss.
Oh, yeah, you know, he didn't seem to know, like, any of the, too much of the terrible shit going on, and he just seemed to be like a guy's like, justice, I will defeat the criminals, huzzah, I will
T-Bone seems like T-Bone seems like a genuinely good-hearted person who is not aware of the things around him.
Alright, next is, dog, that's not Emu, it's Eva. Alright, so there was this old theory that when we first saw Domi Reversi, people like thought like, dude, let's go back to Impel Down, where apparently some prisoners would get spirited away by demons. It's like, dude, that's Eva. It's Eva.
That's Eva.
That's Impel Down level 5.5 doing its thing and kidnapping and rescuing prisoners.
And the reason that has the demonic thing is one, the whole anti-government thing, and two, Eva is a Rocky Horror Picture Show spoof.
Also,
the joke is they're a bunch of like, what do they call themselves? They call themselves like transvestite monsters or something.
Yeah, you know, Transylvania's vampire.
Yeah, Transylvania.
Yeah, who are also trans people. Also, this is Impel Down, which is based off hell, so people having superstitions about demons seems pretty natural.
Now, Puff, you want to know a real theory?
What?
Eva is a Lunarian because the guy in Rocky Horror Picture Show was an alien.
I think you're onto something.
I know.
Or maybe they're just a Skypean. Maybe they're just like a Birkin. Maybe Eva's a Birkin.
Yeah, dude. Big head Birkin. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Alright, next is, okay, so we got a couple of hockey theories about celestial dragons.
Ooh, hockey.
First is that celestial dragons all have insane hockey potential due to their lineage, because obviously the 20 Kings were strong dudes if they beat Joy Boy or something. And
cool theory. There's no proof that Too bad there's no proof that hockey directly relates to lineage.
I
Like, you
mean,
can be, what about
one,
Garb Dragon Luffy? Okay, what about none of Big Mom's kids having crying conquerors?
yeah, you know, like that's the thing. It's like, is Conqueror's like genetic and it's inheritable from parent to child? Like, that would be consistent in cases. There's consistent cases of it, but like Big Mom kind of pokes a hole in it where like she had like 80 kids and only one of them got it, and it happened to be the strongest, coolest, most like, you know, good leader guy among
Also,
them.
one of the oldest ones.
Yeah. It's just it's weird, like it, even like with the whole like Luffy case, like he didn't like Ace unlocked Conqueror's Haki when he was 7. Ace didn't until, or like Luffy didn't until he was 17. Like, does that imply that Roger's lineage has greater hockey potential than Garb's? Like, is this what we're gonna
Yeah,
roll
dude.
with? Is that true?
And again, I still subscribe to the theory that Conquerors is not actually only born in a few people. I think anyone can unlock it.
Yeah, I think I would prefer that. Just because, like, I feel like
I've
it's the being born with Congress hockey is like the one case where they're saying, oh, something you're born with is like super important and matters a lot.
Yeah. Um, I think I just think it's more like it feels like it fits One Piece's vibes more. That it's more like people showcasing that will were so rare, everyone assumed it's 1 in a million. But now this current era is full of so many scrappy, rebellious kids that all of a sudden everyone seems to have it.
Or like, I think it's like what Shinjao said, like, you know, like once you're deep in the Grand Line amongst the greatest like group of pirates, and like you just see more and more Conquerors users. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
and
why
I
would
think
Rayleigh pick you among all the Conquerors users, Luffy? You fucking suck compared to most of them.
so yeah, I just think that.
Yeah. All right, and the next one is Gunko was Luffy's mom because Luffy recognized her hockey.
What?
You remember that take? You remember that theory?
Oh,
It was from one of the shorts we saw where it's like, I think, or what? Wait, no, it wasn't one of the shorts. It was O'Hara. I think it was O'Hara. Where it's like, oh, is the reason why Luffy's acting like he something is happening up the tree because he senses a familiar hockey, and that familiar hockey is his mom because his Gunko is his mom.
yeah, and let's be honest here. A big reason for that is just because O'Hara, clickbait king, knows that bringing up Luffy's mom as often as possible is good clickbait.
Yeah. But it's so funny because, like, did Luffy, like, register his mom's hockey, like, as a baby and can always sense it no matter where it is now?
Yes.
Is that going to be a thing?
It's a real power.
If I, like, kidnapped one of Big Mom's children as soon as they were born, and then, like, you know, she did a big hockey scream for, like, a mile away, would the kid, like, instinctually know, that's my mama's hockey? That's
No,
my
but they
mama's
recognize
hockey.
it. Maternal hockey. Maternal hockey.
Maternal Conquerors Hockey is one of the branches you could unlock. There's Infusion, Maternal Conquerors Hockey, and Voice of All Things. That's the 3 Conquerors routes.
That's super funny. What's next?
Next is Shanks dumped Buggy, quote unquote.
Fuck you, Buggy dumped Shanks.
That is what happened. That's literally what happened. You people are coping.
Yeah,
You think it's the
Buggy
opposite.
heard you're not gonna follow Roger's will. Get the fuck away from me.
And then, like, Shanks is the one daydreaming about, like, being with Buggy again, while Buggy's like, that fucking asshole, I hope I never see him again.
Yeah, it's the Melon tweet, which is Shanks really got dumped by Buggy, said "fuck my baka life," and then went back home to the Holy Land. So imagine him moping to Shamrock. Shamrock's like, interesting. You had a lover. Was she strong? And he's like, no, he's a little bitch. And Shamrock has to process like 5 things that sentence means. He's like, all right, hold on.
Oh my god, you just
Hold
reminded me of another, like, bad Celestial Dragon theory we heard just yesterday.
Oh, that it was Anime Balls Deep, right?
I think so, that, like, the Celestial Dragons seek powerful women to have children with.
And their example was Ginny, which one,
It's like, A,
we
not
a
super
revolutionary
strong.
commander. No, we know she was a revolutionary commander, but we've never seen her fight, so we don't know if she's strong. And 2, it might just be because she was like an early member. And 2, this is very important. They didn't keep the fucking kid.
Yeah, they used Bonnie as a guinea pig, then threw her out. They didn't care about the supposedly strong genetic baby that they gave birth to. Also,
It also just
like,
gives me-
what about Charloss? Did you think Charloss saw the nurse on Sabo? He was like, "Yo, with my innate hockey potential, I can sense that this lady has huge power level potential. So I'm gonna use her as my fifth
Dude,
wife."
he has like the Moggy vessel vision, but for high power level G.
No, I was thinking it's like literally like he has a scouter on at all times. Like, yes, I
Funny.
see your hockey power.
No, I just
level
thought that because
potential.
we're reading Moggy, and I remembered the way Judar was able to see metal vessels. Just him
yeah.
doing that for strong genes. He's like, "Ugh."
I see you're a king's vessel. I see. I see you were born with conqueror's hockey. That must mean your children have the potential to be born with conqueror's hockey.
That's
As
so
I'm doing
funny.
this, as I'm saying all these things, I'm pointing my pinky like up to my nose, just because that's what Charloss did in that scene. He's doing that. Like, yes, I said your hockey potential.
God, that's really funny. What's next?
Next, this is kind of a power scaling complaint. Why don't strong guys immediately crush anyone weaker than them when they fight? I guess it's like
Someone
most
brought up
like Big Mom or like Kaido when they, when
Teach is brought up heavily.
Teach, yeah. And answer is A, because that's not fun. It's if that immediately happens every time.
And B, there's like plenty of reasons to not go out. For example, someone like Teach, literally, the harder he fights, the less safe it is for him and all his allies to be on that island.
Also, he's just like
And
a
then you have
cautious
someone-
guy in general. Like, what if he like, all right, if there's something like on the island with Boa Hancock, like he wanted Hancock's food, so was like, all right, if I go too crazy, cut the island in half, and suddenly Hancock fucking dies and falls into the water. I came here for no reason. Suddenly I'm here for no reason. So like, it makes sense you want to be a little careful.
Yeah, and then you have Kaido, who, and with Kaido, his big thing is he wants a fun fight, so he doesn't want to one-shot you unless he doesn't think you're worth fighting.
Yeah, like he literally
then,
let Luffy wail on him for a bit, like when they first fought in not Ringo,
just
but,
to see if he was worth it.
Yeah.
And then you have Big Mom, who she kind of amps up as the fight goes on. Like first of all, Big Mom already does come out swinging. Like, Big Mom doesn't exactly hold back when a fight starts. She tries to kill you.
Yeah.
And then, because of her disposition, she kind of, like, amps up as the fight goes, because she gets, like, more and more battle craze.
She's kind of like Luffy in that way, where it's like Luffy, like, sometimes it's hard for him to, like, start at 100%, but, like, once he's into it, he's into it.
Yeah.
And it also, it is just more fun from, like, a storytelling perspective if, like, you can have, like, 3 weak guys, like, run away and try and, like, fight off a stronger guy, or, like, if they do some crazy team tactics and can, hold them off, or, whatever, pull shenanigans, or if, like, for character reasons, a character is just holding back because they're lazy or whatever.
Yeah, that's just fun.
Yeah. Alright, next is, why didn't Rayleigh and Scopper save Ace at Marineford? That was Roger's kin. That was Roger's son. Why didn't they go save him? That was the next Pirate King.
Okay, Scopper's the easiest answer. Okay, let's say Scopper literally always knew, right?
Yeah.
I think he's physically too far away. I think he's straight up not close enough. Yeah. Okay, so that's my Scopper answer. And then the other one, which has a few shades to it, which is number 1, did they know? I would say they were probably suspicious in the sense that this guy that looks a lot like their young captain has the same name as their captain's sword. Like, they're like, huh, that's weird. Orcus. Was that the name of the lady Roger fucked on that one island? I don't remember. Yeah, so for that, they'd go like, And then I imagine, like, I bet Rayleigh, if Ace approached him, would have offered to train, but from what we know, Ace didn't, because he doesn't want anything to do with his dad's legacy.
Yeah.
They're not going to intentionally meddle.
Also, maybe I'm not getting the timeline right, but didn't Roger disband his crew and then spend time with Rouge? Isn't that what happened?
Yes, no, I'm just making the joke, like, maybe he met her once, like, one-off on an island.
So, like, literally the timeline is, like, Roger's like, Rayleigh, my son's gonna be Pirate King. Ray's like, you don't have a son, what the hell? And then they disband. He goes spend time with Rouge, impregnates her, and then dies. And so, like, does Rayleigh and Scopper probably don't even know that he has a son. The only person who seems to know is Garp, and that's it.
Yeah. then maybe he told Shanks.
And some maybe like some other Marines knew because they suspected that like Roger like had a son, but then they were like, okay, we couldn't find him. None of the pregnant women.
I bet like, Bogard knows.
Maybe Bogard knows.
And then just beyond that, it's also just the whole like, they're not going to meddle because here's the thing: training is not that meddlesome, and also the Straw Hats had to ask for it. Like, that's not the same as joining a war. Now, saving Hancock was meddling. That one was. But also, he straight up admits that was a bluff. I would have gotten my fucking ass beat.
Like, I'm willing to believe that Rayleigh would, like, give his life for a cause if he thinks it's truly worth it. Like, obviously he wouldn't, but it's just, like, he's kind of, like, past, like, being proactive for the most part until, like, Luffy kind of spurred him back into it a bit, I guess. Because like after Luffy, he says it's worth being alive a bit longer, implying that there's something he wants to see before he dies or something he wants to see done.
Yeah. Also, maybe Rayleigh and Scopper just aren't going to like be like, oh, this Ace kid never sought us out, but did seek out Whitebeard. How about that?
It could just be that they have faith Whitebeard could do it.
That too. Their Whitebeard's got this.
Like, I think the most obvious answer is that they didn't know that Ace was son, so by the time they saw he was being executed, it's like, oh, that's Roger's son? Well, too bad I can't swim over there in 2 seconds and help.
Well, that end, if like, I don't know, like Rayleigh fucking hunts down Ace and is like, I'm your dad's vice captain. Ace is like, I know. Fuck you. Rayleigh's like, oh, well, I did this for no reason.
All right, so we got one thing. This was a comment, a question. So like, I guess like before we get to comments, we can start with this one. What do you think about One Piece fan fiction?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm so sorry because I know I've brought up in several videos that I do read fan fiction. Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't read fan fiction for good stories. I read fan fiction solely to find funny shit. I'm not a good person.
I read a lot of Dragon Ball fan fiction back in the day.
Yeah, you read Bad Gohan fan fiction.
Yes, I read a lot of Gohan high school fan fiction where it's like, oh, he trained for 7 years instead of became a badass and like, kicked the shit out of a bully or some shit like that. I don't know. There's a lot of that. And also Mr. Satan got exposed as a fraud and then became homeless and Videl disowned him and then Gohan lived in the mansion where he and Videl used to live or whatever. It's funny that like so many of them were so mean to Mr. Satan, and now like I just love him so much. Where it's like, damn, those were really mean spirited. Why did I enjoy those? Did I truly enjoy?
Yeah, a lot of those are vindictive. So no, I couldn't say one that I actually like say it's like, oh, it's so good and you should read it. Nope. Like my favorite One Piece one I've ever read was one where like Luffy's sister is like a high tier who like forces Law to kiss Dofi. Lots of weird things going on in that. Lots of weird things going on there.
I also think that like it's weird because I feel like most theories kind of read as fan fiction anyway, so it's almost like that's where I get my exposure nowadays. Is like all just theories and theory channels and One Piece videos and not so much
it's
like
because theorists and power scalers don't want to admit that they write fan fiction.
Yeah, but they do. They do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to comments. We got like over 200 on the last One Piece video we did, which
I responded to. No, I responded to most of them because I didn't because I thought I didn't want to circle back to too many.
Oh, okay.
We can really quickly skim it if there's anything interesting though.
All right. I remember one comment asked us, dude, guys, who's your favorite new gen anime villain? And I'm like, that sounds like something I'd write in 4chan like 8 years ago as like bait, because they really hate the term new gen. They really hate
I don't like the term. No, I did my best to give an answer.
I did too after a while, but I gave like a funny, cool answer.
Nice. Oh, haha. Mine was just probably Shigaraki or Haumea. Maybe Ragyo from Kill la Kill. I'm not really sure.
I almost said Sinbad but like Magyar in 2009 and they said 2010's the cutoff point, so I'm like, no.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I was gonna be funny and say Ryuga, but that also started in 2009.
Yeah. So many good things started in 2009.
How about that? No, so that's it. Well, yeah, let me check anything else from the Chosen One video. Is there anything else worth talking about? Someone read Plunderer, which is very cool. Yeah. I think the reason the One Piece live action is so beloved is because the story and world of One Piece is inherently so strong. adaptations like The Last Airbender don't understand what makes the original story so good. But while the One Piece live action is plenty flawed, it's adapting the beginning of one of the greatest stories and it knows it. What? You didn't say anything. The One Piece live action doesn't understand what makes it good, just like the Avatar live action doesn't understand what makes it good.
Maybe like the people making it understood what made One Piece good, but like I feel like also too much of it is lost in the adaptation. Like
none of
art
it
style
comes
and comedy
across.
is completely gone. It's not there anymore. It's completely different. And
None of the characters act like themselves, especially Luffy and Sanji. They're so bad.
Sanji, like, it kind of just gets worse as you get deeper into season 1, where it's like now Sanji doesn't have a character arc. That's like
Doesn't have
that's like
character
honestly
arc,
like the
doesn't
big
have
one.
a
He doesn't have a character arc
personality.
anymore, and like I hate it that.
He doesn't have a character arc. He doesn't have a personality. Zoro is a caricature of. Zoro is how people who don't watch One Piece describe Zoro. Luffy. This what's funny, Puff, is I remember I had this beef and I thought it was very petty and random, but then Melon T had the exact same complaint, which is I hate that for every Straw Hat, or like I think like at least 2 or 3 of the Straw Hats, the first thing that Luffy says he likes about them isn't their personality, it's how strong they are or how good they are at something.
Yeah, like
Whereas,
dude, I found a good pawn for my
yeah,
gambit to become Pirate King.
whereas like the thing that endears Luffy to Zoro is him eating the dirty ball and saying tell the girl it was great. The thing that endears Sanji to Luffy is him feeding Gin quietly. Stuff like that. Whereas like in the live action, Luffy's like, whoa, that guy just brought in a fucking half a body. Minor thing. That scene specifically is super funny because Zoro having like negative social comprehension and bringing half a body in a bag into a saloon with children. That was funny.
That was funny.
But I also hated the scene because Luffy's like, oh, I bet that guy's so strong. It's like, shut up. That should not be your first thought about these fucking people. I mean,
like, for Zoro specifically, maybe it makes sense because he did seek out Zoro because he heard he was a rad, cool dude who was strong.
Yeah, but the thing that
he was won
endeared Zoro
over by like him eating the rice ball and like seeing his determination to live and all that.
Yeah, because Luffy likes people for their personalities or for how cool they look. Now, if he said that guy looks awesome, then maybe we're getting somewhere.
Man, dude, I feel like I so many people like the live action and I just don't, and I feel like I'm spoiling people's fun whenever I talk bad about it.
I don't care. Good. Get your fun spoiled, fuckers. It's terrible. And I know that by season 3, all you are going to be on my fucking side. You might not agree with me that season 1's bad, but it fell off. I'll be right in the end.
The fall off arc is, I swear it's going to come, like, and maybe not season, I think season 2 will carry enough momentum where people will still be positive, but season 3, I think is going to be able to say, alright, it fell off, man, dude. Remember the good old days? Remember pre-time skip One Piece for the great Alabasta time skip? Remember pre-time skip live action One Piece?
I think maybe the one difference between open... No, that's not even true. I'll say, because one thing the live-action Avatar does is it makes... Its opening is grittier, realer, not your grandma's Avatar, because it's like the Ozai, like, executing a guy trying to get information out. But then I'm... Not Ozai. What the fuck was Ozai's dad's name? Azulon? I don't remember. But then I remembered that the beginning of the One Piece live action is Alvida brutally crushing people's heads. It's like, oh no, the One Piece live action also did. This isn't your grandma's One Piece.
But also, they also like made it more childish, but in some ways, like how Luffy has to
by having
I'm a good pirate.
Being a good
I'm
person,
a good
which
pirate.
Is infuriating. Or like how Sanji is just
not a buccaneer.
Or how Sanji's just a nice guy. Or also just weird shit like Nojiko trying to kill Nami with a shovel, because in this version, the village literally hates Nami, which is so fucking weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Bad. Also, Usopp doesn't have his nose. What the fuck? And Sanji doesn't have his eyebrows. What the fuck? Anyway,
they did like there's a couple changes that like I can respect, or at least like acknowledge as not being like a terrible idea. Like Garp calling Mihawk in to like, you know, do as a favor. I'm like, all right, manga Garp, original One Piece Garp would never do this. He would want to punch people himself, and also like he'd like kill himself for relying on the warlords for anything. But like if I just think of this as like a different character, like, oh, they want to just like put a lot of like the marine subplots into Garp being like, oh, the conflict of like, you know, having to work with pirates, maybe having to acknowledge that like maybe like put some aspects of like Kizaru in him or like other marines into him, like that's fine, that's cool, whatever. If you want to make Arlong like a freedom fighter and that's his whole deal now, it's like, okay, sure. But like any like scraps of that, just like, well, like it's lost, and like just what I think is just like a adaptation of like takes out all the fun and whimsy inherently by getting rid of Oda's comedy and art style and all that good jazz, and then also just like ruining the plot on top of that. Like it ruined the plot of One Piece.
Well, I remember one early interaction that I hated is Luffy's like we're a crew, we have to do crew things, and then Sanji and then Nami and Zoro are like, we're not a crew, and it's like, I already hate this. Because the dynamic early on is not fuck you, Luffy. We don't like we don't like this. Zoro's like, yep, we're a crew. How about that? and Nami's like, and Nami's like, temporarily.
You know, it's more like, all right, Zoro's like, all right, I'm here. I swore to this guy, but like, I'm here 100% reluctantly. And you know,
literally, like the first thing Zoro has to do after joining the crew is row after Luffy because he got stolen by a big bird.
I know, and I remember like when he. Like, this is like my favorite interaction with them in Shell's Town. Was like at the end, it's like, so how many people are on your crew? And it's like, it's just you and me. It's like, what? Yeah, you're my first crewmate. And he's like, oh my god, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, and he laughed pretty hard in the anime.
Yeah.
And I think also just like, I remember this is a minor thing when Kabaji's torturing Zoro and he's like, I've sworn my life to Luffy. It's like, why?
Yeah, like
I don't believe the Straw Hats like each other in the live action. Like when Zoro swears fealty to Luffy against Kabaji, I'm like, what did Luffy do to get you? And part of that is like a weakness of the live action, which is it's much easier to make Zoro look cool than to make Luffy look cool, which leads to, I remember we were laughing about this when we watched the Morgan fight. Zoro looks like he's doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, so it's like you can't even be like,
he's just like rolling around.
It can't even be like, oh, he's impressed by like, you know, how strong Luffy is now, because like they powered Luffy down in the live action for like, again, understandable reasons. You have a budget constraint, he can't stretch too much, but at least like have him like punch out like as many guys as Zoro did. Like at least do that.
Yeah, or like I remember like there's just a small exchange that makes it obvious Luffy's stronger than Morgan, which is Luffy after a brief scuffle immediately pins Morgan and starts punching him in the face, and it's like, oh, okay, this is not comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't like any of it. It makes me upset. Also, I hate Joker Buggy. Buggy's supposed to be funny.
Like on one hand, it's like, all right, they can't like copy over Oda's exact comedy from the manga because again, they're live action now. They can't like be a fun cartoon anymore. But like they had to take a different route, and like, you know, like it's not the
I don't think
part of the live action. Honestly.
No, I don't think they had to not make a goofy Buggy. I don't think that's required in the slightest. They could have made a goofy Buggy.
No, like, yeah, you could like they just had to go with a different comedy style, and this is what they landed on. It's like, sure, I'm not gonna like yell at you about that too much.
I will. Right.
Like that's so much of it. It's just like this whole production was an uphill battle, so it's hard for me to get like genuinely mad at it too much. Because like, yeah, I could pretty much tell it was gonna not be great because they're fighting an up. It doesn't matter how good the casting is. They're fighting an uphill battle. It doesn't matter what the set designs are. They're fighting an uphill battle already by trying to adapt One Piece into live action.
Yeah, that's probably why the things you get most mad at are
of the longest running comic books and cramming it into 8 episodes by getting
and then like
a
the thing
cartoony like pirate fantasy world, and then having to make it all like real things, which is like, again, very hard to do. I can appreciate the effort on display, but like effort doesn't make things good. I like to labor under the assumption that it does, but that just isn't always the case.
Yeah, no, I'm not half as nice as you, but that does make sense, Puff. Because one of the things you get the most mad at is Sanji not watching the Mihawk fight, which is not an excuse of budget constrictions, time constrictions, production. It's literally take the actor and place him there and have him look.
Yeah, put him in the scene, have him do a sad look, and then maybe have him repeat his line verbatim from the manga if you really care. That'd
be super easy. Yeah, do that and shorten Arlong gut like beating up Luffy because that was really boring and weird.
Like that one, that episode, like really got to me. Like the whole Mihawk fight, just beginning to end, just really got to me. Like, this is terrible. I hate this so much in so many ways. The fucking pocket knife is a fucking cannonball now. There's no finesse. It's not about the finesse of swordplay anymore. It's now about the fucking sheer power level he puts behind his little pocket knife. That's what it's about now.
And what's funny is they always get so defensive after a while. Like, they'll fight for it, but once, like, people who love live action will fight for it, but once they get sick of fighting for it, they're like, this just isn't for you. You'll just hate on anything. It's like, dog, we started this conversation under the assumption that I didn't like it and you did. Why are you being a baby now? So, okay, talked about the live action for a while.
Oh god, I didn't expect for us to just start talking about it like
We
that.
fucking hate it. In the anime, Luffy kills a guy before he gets to the Grand Line on his way up Reverse Mountain. Wrong, that was Nami.
That was filler,
Idiot.
too.
Also, it was Nami. Nami hit him and he presumably fell in the water. Wait, there was a guy saying only Zoro would appreciate alcohol? No, no one said that. Okay, I can't buy into Kaguya being good. Think harder. But Daigo Knight's fake Sarutobi video is one of the dumbest things ever. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Because I remember you and I kept watching it, Puff, and we were like, where is he getting this? And we checked like a description, a comment. It's like, oh, he's just writing fan fiction and not making it clear.
Yeah, I know. He never like said this is my fan fiction. Here you go. He's like just started describing like events in the Naruto story like, as if they happened.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I had a funny one where a guy was talking about the apparently one theory, Puff, is once the red line is destroyed, all the fish in the East Blue will just naturally distribute themselves evenly throughout the globe.
So then the whole globe is the all blue then? In that case?
And also the fish don't have habitats?
You know, like
what's funny is
the all blue has to be something like kind of unnatural and magical and whimsical.
Yeah.
Like if it's
what's funny is they said like, oh, that's an argument of realism. It's like it's not realism. Animals have habitats in the One Piece universe. Like they have habitats.
Like that's kind of what it's supposed to be magical about these people. It's like, oh, this is something weird that like all these fish would be in the same place, and people think it's impossible for that reason.
It's also like, am I supposed to believe in the One Piece world fish don't have like migration patterns, or fuck it? Are there not tropical fish?
They
and
do
like
have migration
cold
patterns.
water
I know
fish?
that Laboon's pod has migration
Well, those
patterns.
are whale. Well, to be fair, one, those are whales. Two, it's kind of implied the red line might be fucking with them.
But still,
so
they
actually
have migration. They're still aquatic animals that have migration patterns.
Yeah, no. Point is, basically, point is, red line somehow creating the all blue in some capacity. It's possible. Like maybe the weird reverse mountain currents. Once you destroy reverse mountain, the currents get even weirder and dump all the fish right where reverse mountain was. Like, sure, I guess that is kind of an explanation. Like, it's something. Let me see if there's anything else that's interesting. To be fair, Nami's the only person Luffy's ever given his hat to, and then I pointed out he gave it to Usopp for the whole Davy back fight.
Also, he gave it to Tama.
Also, yeah. I like the Usopp one, because Usopp had it for a while.
He did have for a while.
I have an idea for how Doflamingo will escape. Remember those swimming club penguin guys? It's a funny name for him. The blue gory? What if he kills one and steals its suit? Maybe. I think we could do better.
I think
hasn't Sabo
if like he pulls strings to get someone to break him out, or like gets like some high-ranking Marine to do it. It's like, oh, he has dirt on me. I gotta get this guy out, or also unleash it. Like, because that's just like being a fun manipulator is Doflamingo's whole thing.
Puff, I love how people are always like, okay, but what if Eam is so indoctrinated into misogyny that after a millennia of ruling, they still keep up with patriarchy? It's like, sure, that's feasibly possible, but again, Eam is the representation of all the evil within the world government. So Eam not being a woman or a fisherman or gay just makes more sense thematically.
Like, there's no reason why Emu can't be a woman, but like if I was a betting boy.
In the Guardians of Gahul, the racist groomer woman was a barn owl, not a gray horned owl, because barn owls were the racist one.
Dude, we watched that movie a few days ago. Like, it looks super good for some reason.
Oh, no, Puff, the
it's
joke
Zack
I made
Snyder
is
magic, man. He can make a movie look good even if it's bad.
No, well, I mean, to be fair, it's the animator. So no, the joke I made, Puff, is this is the Snyderverse we actually missed out on.
Yeah, I know, dude. He should have like adapted the other like 30 books of that series made. Like,
I
get
would have
Hugh
liked
Vance
that a
in
lot
Man of
more than
Steel.
getting more fucking edgy Superman movies.
I remember my brother saw the new Superman movie, the one that came out, and said this is the best DC movie ever. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I was really worried because the last one was fucking terrible. It's like, no, Man of Steel was like, it wasn't bad, but it was just okay. It's like, no, it's bad. And you want to know why it's bad, Shiki?
Because Superman is weirdly edgy.
Well, no, that, but also it's just like the weird thing about Man of Steel is like I see the vision, and I think it executes it all right, but I also hate the vision, and that's why I hate the movie.
Nice. Oh,
I
Puff.
hate the movie because of its vision.
All right, Puff. Are we done with the video now?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Thing one. Assuming I could. Okay. Next video is either going to be Moggy if Mocha reads fast enough, or Naruto if I watch Boruto fast enough.
It's probably not
So
going to be Moggy.
So depending on what, yeah, no, Mocha has a job. No, Mocha's like, Puff also has a job. How's he read so much more than me? So Naruto / Boruto and Moggy opinions will be coming soon. Give us your takes on those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Moggy is in fact woke and gay.
One Piece, the most political political anime ever made. And it's like, dog, did you see Moggy? Like, literally, chapter 87, they say, fuck the monarchy, let's make a republic.
A little bit earlier than that, they would always say, the rich cut social services so that they could live more lavishly.
They
Moggy.
literally use words like segregation in, like, volume 4.
All right, Puff, you ready for but we ready to end this video on you having a live reaction of something exciting?
Ooh, is it something live action related?
Live action a movie. So, Puff, we're watching Harry Potter tomorrow. And you know why?
Oh, why?
You know what dropped recently?
What dropped?
Zombies 4.
Oh, dude, fire. Cool.
I know.
Cool.
So we're gonna go do that now.
All right.
All right.